All right, guys, welcome back to the Totally Worth It podcast, episode number 24. My name's Kendall.
And I'm Haley.
And we are your hosts. We're bad hosts because we didn't explain why this episode is coming out on Tuesday. So,
well, to be fair, when we did the last one, we didn't know that it wasn't gonna.
I know.
So.
But I had kind of already mentally decided in my head about it. Last one, but I just wasn't 100% on it. So normally, or in the last 24 episodes, I made it our mission to have every episode on Monday mornings out, but it has gotten to the point where that just does not work for our family.
It's just your work schedule.
It's my work schedule.
Don't even say family.
It really doesn't. It does not work for our family. Because the way that my work schedule is that I'm flip-flopped every week. So in order for us to make the schedule on every Monday, we would have to record...
Like double up.
Yeah, we would have to record, like say we record this on a Friday night or whatever.
And then the next one would have to be on a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The next one would have to be on a Wednesday because I work the Friday, Saturday, Sunday and can't record it over the weekend.
Yeah.
So
I think it just needs to be 1 week Monday, 1 week Tuesday.
So what we've decided is that 1 week it will come out Monday morning, and then the next week, it will come out Tuesday morning, and then so on and so forth.
Okay.
So Monday, Tuesday. Got it? Cool. A couple other new things. I am so sick of this computer sitting underneath this table just so that the table can look clean and simple.
Yeah.
And also, my cheetah print cover really brings out my eyes. I'm just kidding. This is Haley's laptop. But we use it for the podcast, and is what it is, and I love it. So anyway, I'm going to have this laptop on this thing from here on out.
I mean, you had it the first couple times.
No.
Before we had video.
Yeah, before we had video, because obviously, because nobody can see it.
I didn't understand why you put it under there when
because it made the table look clean, and I wanted it to look professional, but you and I, we're not professional.
But every other podcast you watch, you can see a laptop on the desk.
I know, but I just kind of like the way that it looked. But it's too much work, and like you can't move your feet wrong, or you'll unplug a cord, and like I can't deal with that in my life. So, anyway, how are you, dear?
Good.
Good.
Tired. My lymph node hurts. I don't know why.
My lymph node hurts.
It's so sore.
Your lymph node hurts.
Yeah, in my neck.
In your neck.
It's just sore.
Like a sick sore?
That's what it felt. That's what I felt like yesterday, but I don't have now.
Like a don't hug me sore?
No.
Okay. Good.
Like yesterday, I just felt like I was getting a headache. I was starting to feel like, just like crud and like, my throat wasn't sore, but like my neck is sore, like where your lymph nodes are, and now I feel fine. Yeah. It just hurts.
Well, that's good. Hope it gets better.
Yeah. It'll be all right.
My feet hurt.
I bet
really, really bad.
Why do your feet hurt?
We'll talk about that in a little while.
Okay.
Did a little project at the house today. Probably also going to try something different in the podcast episode this week. I'm going to...
Put the book down. Sorry.
I don't know why I was doing that. When we talk about that section, I'm going to throw the pictures up in the video.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah. It's been a great week.
Yeah.
I finally finished my last full weekend of work before we go on vacation. Cannot wait. Because weekends are rough for you and me. Me, because I'm tired from no sleep, and you tired from dealing with our daughter and working and whatever else that you guys do.
Single mama every other weekend.
Single mama. Hey, it is what it is. You got to make the wheels turn. But I'll tell you what I have been doing this week. Let's open up. Let's talk about, I got to put this book down. I can't deal with it. I keep messing with it. Here, hold this book or do something with it. Now I got the tea.
Oh my gosh.
I got to fiddle with something. So I talked about it last week, allegedly. I don't remember it, but I think I did. About throwback music. Mm-hmm. And on Father's Day, we talked about it last week. You can go back and listen to that episode to figure it out. But anyway, I spent some time outside listening to some old music that I grew up on and just kind of by myself rocking out kind of deal. And it was awesome. But it didn't stop there. And so I've been listening to that music all week long.
Yeah.
And I have been straight up jamming.
You've been in a throwback?
At work. Yeah, I've been in a throwback mood. So, with that being said, and we're all nerds. Well, I'm a nerd. I was a nerd. Still a nerd. Mm-hmm. Mostly a nerd. So I grew up on some weird music. But I'm curious as to what kind of music did Haley Knight grow up listening to?
I mean, I was
like what got you through? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
give us the timeline.
I mean, definitely late 90s, early 2000s country. That's a given. Shania, Faith Hill, all the greats.
Southern girl.
But I remember being little and listening to Britney Spears and Hillary Duff.
Oh yeah.
And
Hit me, baby.
NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, like that was the scene.
Killing it. Dude.
And then I remember, I feel like it was more my mom was in this, but because I was always with her and it was like in the car, like Lighthouse. And
really?
Yeah.
You got that from your mom?
Yeah. She had the CD weird. And everything in the car.
That is so weird. That's so cool, Becky. That. What a cool mom. That's so cool. My mom didn't listen to anything cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
when I get in the car,
my mom always got good taste.
When I got in the car and cranked the radio up, it was on like Sherry Baby, like oldies, like just straight up senior citizen radio station.
No, my mom
under the boardwalk, like just straight killing it.
Oh my gosh, you know?
No. 90.3 all day.
No, we listened to a lot of what are you doing?
I don't know.
Put the tea down, kiddo.
I'm sorry.
What? I can't think. I'm drawing a blank.
So after your Backstreet Boy phase, you got into some Lifehouse kind of stuff. What is that, like alternative kind of stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Name. I'm drawing blanks.
Like I said, we probably didn't listen to the same stuff.
I feel like we did though because we know a lot of the same stuff.
Like what genres are you talking about?
I guess it's like alternative rock.
Like a Creed kind of time?
What's happening? I don't know. Was that the computer?
No. It was your phone.
That was so strange.
Like a Creed kind of phase or what? I mean, I don't know. Hang on. She's looking it up. Everyone pause
now
while
I'm
you're
like Matchbox 20.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you.
Lifehouse, Hinder. Three Doors Down. The Fray. Like, this was my mom's jam.
Oh, wow. Your mom was cool.
Yeah, so it I was in that world.
That's hilarious. So. That's awesome. Those are good bands. What is the Hinder song? What is Hinder? Is that Lips of an Angel?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
hear your voice. Yeah. My name. So sweet.
Oh my gosh. And I love Matchbox 20.
I was never a huge fan of them.
I like them.
With Rob, what's his name? Rob something.
Yeah, you shouldn't have asked me.
Yeah.
But Lifehouse, I love some Lifehouse.
Yeah? I do too. So what come after that? You can admit it. It's fine.
I don't.
Because that would put you at like what, 17, 18? You know?
That era, I was like 11.
11.
But you got to think my 11 and 12 was your 17 and 18.
Whoops.
Let's see. I remember like as I got older, it's like went into middle school. I was in public school, so I was around more like rap and R&B. Like I didn't listen to a lot of that like growing up at home, but once I was in public school, like everything.
Public school ruined you, is what you're saying.
No, it just broadened my horizon of music, and I feel like you can agree. I know a lot of music.
You do. She knows a lot of music. We ride around in the car sometimes, and it's like one of my life missions
to find a song.
Find a song that she has never heard. But sometimes I think she lies because I will find some super abstract song like from like 20 years ago and be like, you're going to love this. I know you hadn't heard this before. And she'll be like, I'll start the song 5 seconds later. She'll be like, in the side over there in her seat, acting like she knows the words. Yeah,
but I was a big Eminem fan.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, the real Slim Shady.
Yeah, I was such a big Eminem fan.
So bad.
Rihanna.
I
like Rihanna.
The MySpace era.
That was not MySpace for me, but
she was discovered on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know.
One of the first artists.
I remember when One Direction and Justin Bieber came on the scene. Like I wasn't like crazy about. I wasn't like a what were Justin Bieber's fans called?
I don't know.
I wasn't really.
Clearly, I was not one of them.
I did like One Direction though, but I wasn't like.
They had some good jams though.
Yeah.
What was the song they had?
One Thing. You got that one thing?
Got that one thing. Heck yeah, dude.
I remember when that came out. Man. I was in 8th grade when that song came out.
8th grade? Oh, wow.
You were in college.
Yup. Let's not talk about that.
Okay. Anyways. But yeah, I listen to a lot.
You've had some good music.
Yeah. And I attribute some of it to my cousin Michael because we did a lot together. For
sure. I can definitely see Michael leading you into some of that stuff.
Eminem he got me big into Eminem and what's the guy? Haystack. I remember the first time I ever heard anything about him, I was with Michael. I was like,
Haystack?
What is this?
Hey, if you think I've ever listened to an artist named Haystack, you've got another thing coming.
Never.
Is it something I shouldn't look up?
I mean, it's very something you would listen to. It's kind of Limp Bizkit vibes.
Oh man, I was a big Limp Bizkit guy. Break stuff was my jam.
Yeah, I know. You remind me quite often.
Oh man, that song, that was bad. Yeah, so you had a good little musical tour through your growing up.
Yeah.
Mine was very different than yours.
Yeah. I feel like you had to find all yours on your own.
I did. I had to find
and
all.
Mine was everywhere I went.
When I remember when I was really young, my brother's if you don't know my brother, he's 6 years older than I am. So he was my enabler for everything. Mm-hmm. He was doing it or listening to it, and I heard it or seen it through the wall.
That's how it was with Michael.
Like through the bedroom wall. I heard it. That's how I learned songs.
Yeah.
Listen, because my brother had one of those huge black boom boxes that had like double cassette things on it. And it had the EQ like above it. And it was like 50 gazillion little EQ knob things. Super cool. I wish that I could find that thing. That thing
no, we have nowhere to put one.
I know, but it looks so cool. It would be so sentimental to me.
Okay.
But anyway, I remember growing up, we had a handful of cassettes, but the only like 2 or 3 that me and my brother listened to all the time was Elvis Presley, Leonard Skinner, and who was the other one? Elvis Presley, Leonard Skinner, and Bob Seger.
Oh, okay, never mind. You can continue.
You go ahead.
It just made me forget about this whole era of my life where I was like in 80s rock, like Bon Jovi, Def Leppard,
for sure,
all of them. That was like my jam.
I learned all of that music through my brother.
Okay.
Because my brother's like very old school, like only wants to listen to old school stuff. But
he's still that way.
But he went through a few phases where he wasn't, and like his Eminem phase and stuff. Yeah. And like I learned everything about 3 years too early.
Same.
As far as music is concerned. But yeah, when I was young, I started first listened. I mean, obviously, everybody in the South grows up, listening to music in church and hearing it from your parents and whatever.
Right.
But like, I remember me and my brother like jamming to that Elvis tape with the one song where it's like, they play it on like, it almost sounds like the Paramount movie pictures things. So like, dun 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 dun.
I know what you're talking
about.
We got it. We got it, Kendall.
It was awesome. We used to kill it. Anyway, so like I said, I grew up listening to a lot of music that my brother listened to, Bob Seger and stuff like that. But when it started, I kind of got into my own vibe, listening to things like Three Doors Down and band. Those were like the early bands that I like started going out and finding music of. And then when I found it, I was like all into the rock part. Like that's one of the things that made me like want to learn how to play music.
Really?
Yeah. And so obviously I listened to like Christian radio music all the time. My parents had it on all the time when they didn't have the oldies station playing.
Yeah.
So I knew all of those songs, but all those songs were so like boring and cheesy. Like I was in that phase where I was like ready for someone to teach me how to rebel.
Yeah.
And then when I got into like Three Doors Down, Green Day, bands like that, I started just like
jamming.
Man. And then through that, I got into a band called The Used, which they were not that great. Yeah. But I listened to them a little bit. But that band introduced me to the band that I grew up with. And that band is called My Chemical Romance.
I do like them.
And that was my freaking band growing up. Like, I know every word to every song, and that's the band that made me want to learn how to play guitar.
Really?
And
it's so weird, though, and I guess, like, I didn't think about it then, like, hearing these songs, because I'm like, that's just a cool song. And I feel like I don't remember watching a lot of like music videos growing up, unless it was like CMT, but like mom and them were like, no, you're not watching MTV.
I
like
still remember the day that I seen their first like big hit song. It's called Helena, and they're all like in the big church, the big cathedral, and they're like dancing, and they're all like pale skin and gross looking. You know what I'm talking about?
Scary.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like it, and it's so like blasphemy now.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. But that was my band. What can I say? We all have a past.
I'm glad you found Jesus.
We all have a past, and I have found Jesus. But anyway, I used to rock so hard to that.
Yeah, I just remember that day you were like...
There was that side, and then there was also the side of rock that I listened to that was tolerated by the Christian people in my life, which was like... bands like Switchfoot and Reliant K was a huge band. That's actually the band that I have been listening to all week this past week.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then I kind of got into country music for a while, and
you haven't left country music.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I love country music, but I like to listen to everything.
I do too.
I like to listen to a very
It just really depends on my mood.
Yeah. But I am not there's not many genres of music that I'm just like not a fan of. Like I will even listen to rap. I mean, I'm fine. I have nothing. I think rap is an extremely difficult and artsy type of music. Like it takes a lot of talent to do some of that. But the one genre that I don't care for is like heavy metal.
I do not.
Screamo kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do not.
I never got into that, but a lot of my friends did, and I don't know.
It makes my blood pressure go up hearing it.
Yeah,
I get real anxious.
I just feel like I want to listen to some people who are like
got something.
They just sound they sound like they don't sound happy.
Yeah.
And I want to be happy when I listen to music.
Yeah, I've never.
But that goes back to the whole Limp Bizkit thing. Like when I was pissed off, I would want to listen to Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit.
Don't go look that up.
Don't go look that up. Terrible song, will ruin your childhood. Or child.
Yeah, don't let them hear it.
Yeah, don't let them listen to it either. It's a terrible song. But I remember those feelings growing up and just different songs and different things that occurred where I just specific songs that got me through certain things. And I even had a phase where I was really, really getting into church music. And so I was going to all the winter jams and stuff like that. Like I was in there.
Yeah.
And then I got really into like bands like, actually Zach, my buddy Zach, sent me a playlist that he made of like some Christian rock bands like that he used to listen to. And Skillet was on there. So I have also been listening to Skillet this past week.
Yeah.
And it sounds lame, but it's good, and I like it. That Comatose album is lit.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway. Yeah, there's a bunch of good music. Bunches of good music in the past. That's funny when you talk about stuff.
It just gets you going.
It gets you going. I was listening to this song by Reliant K called... what is it called? It's called Who I Am Hates Who I've Been. And dude, it goes so hard. And I'm at work just like flying down the road, just like cranked up, killing it.
I'm sure.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But let's move on.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
So we had a project today. Do you want to explain a little bit of that?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this project.
You go ahead.
So, Kendall
I'm fixing to get put on blast.
Yeah, Kendall comes home this morning, and when he finally
I told you about it the other night, though.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay, well, whatever. So, he gets up today, and he's like, let me show you this video. There's this, like, new thing called dry pouring concrete.
Yeah.
And he was like...
We are always talking about getting concrete.
Yeah, we need concrete so bad. We have nothing but sand out here, and I'm tired of it tracking through my house.
Yeah.
So he was like, I found this video. I've been watching these people. It looks fairly, not simple, but
not difficult.
Not difficult. Way cheaper than like either hiring somebody to pour concrete or mixing it yourself and whatever. Yeah. And so I was like,
and like we don't need a parking lot. Like we just need some concrete that people can walk on and joke and draw on with chalk.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, show me. And he pulls up this video. I watch it and I'm like, let's go to Lowe's. Let's do it.
She was sold.
I was sold.
She was sold.
So
basically the premise of it is that instead of like mixing concrete, renting a mixer and having people, everywhere
pour it and spread it
and do all of that, that's a lot, and it's very taxing, and it has to be done like in a timely manner, like it's all timed, like you can't do it too fast or too slow. You got to get the mixing right. So these people on YouTube, I guess, I don't know if they came up with it, but they're the ones who have become famous for it. Have come up with this thing called dry pouring. And so you go and you buy bags of Quickcrete or whatever the brand is that you use, like ready mix concrete. And you get your form set and you pour all the concrete in and level it all out and get it all packed in.
While it's dry.
While it's dry. So no water. And then you smooth it all out, get the top smooth, and then you like once you're done and like ready for it to be wet, you just take your garden hose and you mist it for like 60 seconds, wait an hour, then you mist it again, and then you wait another hour, and then you just like shower it a little bit, and then wait a couple more hours and do it again like 2 or 3 more times, and you've got a freaking concrete pad.
Yeah. And it was, I feel like overall fairly simple.
Yeah. I mean, we went to Lowe's and bought 10 80-pound bags of concrete for like $46, $49.
And you only used 8.
Yeah, I only used 8. So, and then anyway, so I'll probably throw some pictures up here of it.
It was cool.
It was cool. And so it came home. Joe was running around. I was getting her to kind of trying to help me. Haley was in the house cooking dinner and getting dinner all done and stuff. And I was out there working on the forms, and I kind of like got that done quicker than I thought I would. So I was like, I was originally planning to maybe do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I already got this done. Might as well just keep going. Joe was out there and she was playing. So I was like, whatever. So I just started dumping concrete in this thing, and before you know it, there's a concrete pad sitting at the bottom of the steps.
It's just like a 5x5.
Yeah, 5x5.
But it was exactly what we needed for like the back door.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually we'll add on to it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was, I mean.
Looks pretty sweet right now.
Yeah.
And we'll really know when we pull the forms off tomorrow.
Yeah, once we wet it, and then once we wet it the second time, we took Joe outside and tried to like press her hand into it.
Yeah, that didn't work so well.
It didn't really work that well. But I think it's just because it's not mixed with water.
We've got like a hand mush print, but it's not really like
it's okay. We know what it is.
Whatever. It is what it is. We'll know what it is. It'll be sentimental to us.
Yeah.
So anyway, we did that, and it actually went. I thought it went very well.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks super smooth. The thing about like once you have it the way you want it, then you take a
that was cool.
A paint.
What is the thing they called about the 2x4?
Did you do that?
Yeah. So it's called like a screeding or screeching.
I don't know, but you take the 2x4 and you.
Well, I'm just talking about using the 2x4 to scrape like the top, scrape the top off to level it out. But once you do that in Quickcrete, like Ready Mix, there's like rock all in it, like pebbles and stuff all in it. And so like, obviously there's going to be like tons of pebbles and stuff like sitting on the top. And these people in this video were like, no problem at all. Easy peasy. Just take the 2x4 and rake it back and forth as you're coming down the thing, and it'll settle the rocks, and all the powder will come to the top.
And it's crazy.
I was like, holy cow, dude. It worked. It really worked.
And then after that, you take like a paintbrush roller, and you just like roll over it, and it just like completely smooths it out.
I knew that she would be in when that part came to the video.
Yeah, and then you didn't even let me do it.
Well, I know, but we had a lot going on at the time.
Yeah, but you literally told me to come outside. I came outside, stood there, you were doing it, and I was like, why am I even out here? I got enchiladas burning in the oven. And I was like, I thought this was my job. And you were like, yeah, it was. And I'm like, well, I'm going back inside.
You can do it on the big one when we do the big one.
No, I don't want to now.
Okay, I'll do it.
You can do the whole thing.
Okay. No problem at all. It was very nice. But yeah, so we did that. And
eventually we're gonna have like a 15x30.
Yeah, if this works out good, we're gonna make it. We're gonna scale it.
Yeah, real big.
Yeah, make it bigger. So anyway, yeah, we did that, and by the way, I was covered in concrete powder, and I was sweating buckets.
Yeah,
but that was actually the hardest part, was not letting my sweat drip onto the dry concrete.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like trying.
You were sweating.
Trying to do it.
It was like 103 degrees outside.
Yeah, it was crazy. But like the feeling that I had once I got it done was unrivaled.
Yeah.
It felt great. I'm super tired and sore because I was on my knees for like 2 hours. But it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can show the final product in the video.
Ha ha.
What are you talking about?
You said it was totally worth it.
Oh, totally worth it, yeah.
That used to be our thing.
Yeah, that did used to be our thing. Well, it still is.
Yeah.
It's just every Monday and then every Tuesday now. All right, let's talk about something that happened today.
I don't even want to go here.
You go ahead.
No, this is your ordeal. I just had my opinion and I was right.
She wasn't right.
I was right.
She's not right.
The preacher backed it up.
The youth pastor.
He's a preacher, though.
He is a preacher, but
so
just in case Trent listens, let's not. Let's put some respect on a man's name.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out how to even go about this. So,
just read the message.
So I got a message today from our youth pastor, and me and Haley have been like trying our best to like help out some in the youth when we're available. Life schedules are crazy, and we don't get to do it as much. We don't get to do it as much as we would like to. But when we do, we've been able to do some things with them. We went to Carowinds with them the other week, and I was talking to Justin about doing, because I love to do music, but I ain't really did it in the, like, they got their own thing going on.
Yeah.
As far as like the big church.
Big church and little church.
Big church and little church. But the church we go to, they've already kind of got their music stuff rocking. But anyway, I I would love to do it more, and I feel like I would enjoy it more doing it with the youth.
Yeah. I do too.
And so I actually talked to Justin about that, or talked with him on the way to and from Carowinds about it. And he said he was going to run it by Caleb, the youth pastor, or tell him about it, because he didn't know that I played music and whatnot. And I was like, great, that'd be good. And so anyway, out of the blue today, we got a text message that says, and I'm not going to read like all the details, but long story short, there is a student service. So like on a Sunday night next month, there's going to be a student-led service. And the youth pastor's brother, who is an evangelist, is going to come and preach. And the student praise team is going to do the music, because it's student service, of course. So he texts me and says, hey, man, I have a question for you. Do you happen to know if you would be working on such and such day? It is a Sunday. And I looked at it and said, yes, sir, unfortunately, crying face. And then I said, do I even want to know why you asked, or will I be sad if you tell me?
Says the guy that's not going to read every detail and reads every detail.
With a sad face. I mean, it's important. It's important. Okay. With a sad face underneath that. He says, well, I don't know, LOL, but I'm sad about it. We're having a student service on July 21st, and I was going to see if you'd be interested in doing some special music that night. Okay. And then sent me a picture of the flyer for it, and it's a youth service.
I want you to read that last part one more time. What does he say? What does he say, Kendall?
He says, well, I don't know, LOL, but I'm sad about it. We are having a student service on July 21st, and I was going to see if you would be interested in doing some special music that night.
In you doing some special music.
Okay. Now, I texted him. I said, I'm going to try and figure out a way. Maybe I can swap with somebody at work, whatever. Because I want to do it. Sounds super fun.
You are talking like you're reading a book.
I am.
Like a children's book.
It's a story. It's a story here, okay? I just want to set it up right.
Okay.
So I said, yada, yada. I think I might have something worked out with somebody at work. I can swap. And then, here's where we get to the topic. I said, and what all do you mean by special music? Now.
And the can of worms opens.
Then the can of worms opens. Not with him, but between me and my loving wife. Because we're two different people, came from two different kind of churches. Mm-hmm. He said something along the lines of, so basically you do about 3 or 4 songs before the
You do about 3 or 4 songs.
Before the preaching, yes. 3 or 4 songs before the preaching, and possibly even play music and let some of the teens sing behind you, or if that's something you're up for, and if we maybe could get some practice in beforehand. Totally cool. Mm-hmm. So we ended up getting talking about it, whatever, yada, yada, yada. So me and you can pick it up from here. You pick it up from here.
Well, I don't know how it even came about. I don't know what you said that started it.
So I thought, based on the flyer and what he said initially, it's a student service, and he said, and I maybe I got hung up a little bit on the 3 or 4 songs before preaching.
Yeah.
So in my history, church history, when you do the 3 or 4 songs before the preaching is like congregational worship songs.
Yes, but not all of them.
Not all of them. Not all of them. But most of them. Like, I'm telling you how I grew up. Okay. Right? You didn't grow up with me.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell my side in a minute.
I was Southern Baptist. We had 3 or maybe 3 congregational worship songs, and then maybe before the preacher, every now and then, they had someone come up and sing a song while everybody's seated, listening. It's not for the crowd to sing, just
called special
music is what we called it. Special music.
Okay.
So anyway, I guess in my mind, I assumed that Caleb was talking about the youth praise team. Like, I guess I interpreted it as, hey, would you be interested in coming to play guitar with the youth praise team
while they lead worship?
While they lead worship for, and you, for, a handful of songs before preaching for the student service. And when I hear student service, I think it's lit. It's lit. It's a youth service. It's led by the youth. So obviously it's going to be very youthful. So we're not going to have the Gaithers there,
But special singing doesn't have to be.
I get it. But I'm just saying, like, if it's a youth service, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more catered towards the youth.
But you can still have special singing.
I get that totally. It's just
here's the argument. So I grew up. Okay, you gave your side of what you thought it was.
All right. Okay.
So when I was growing up, he grew up Southern Baptist. I grew up Independent Baptist. So we had one congregational song, maybe two, if the Lord is just doing something crazy.
Ridiculous. Go ahead.
Okay, so there was one congregation song, and then your choir and or praise team, whatever you have, would do two songs. Just say two, two songs. And then you usually would have special singing or special music, which was like one person, maybe two, maybe a group of three people. Yeah. And that the special music or special
maybe
singing,
they all have the last name. Maybe they're all wearing the same color suit and dress. Maybe they have a tour bus outside. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
I'm just kidding.
Anyways,
go ahead.
So then you had your special music or special singing, and that was the last like 3-ish songs before the preaching. So when he said that he wanted you to do special music or whatever he said
special
music before preaching, I immediately thought, okay, he's wanting you to sing, and he said special music, so you're that person. So like, you and the praise team or whatever, y'all are gonna lead worship. Yeah. But I thought he was specifically asking you to sing a song or two as special music before preaching started, which means congregation sitting down.
Yeah, and I totally...
And he thought, absolutely not.
Absolutely
I'm not. The congregation is not sitting down. So I was like, well, then it's just worship.
Because then it puts me on performance feel. I mean, it's not, but it puts me...
Basically, here's what it comes down to. In Kendall's mind, if you are considered special music or special singing, you're the Gaithers or Jason Crabb.
No, I guess... I don't know. I told Haley that
we went at it.
We went at it for a while. We even called Caleb the youth pastor because she was saying.
And what did he say? That what in his mind, what is special singing?
At this point now, I don't even really know what he said.
He literally asked, because we asked him, do you consider special music or special singing with the congregation or them sitting down? And he was like, them sitting down. And I was like,
which is kind of what I understand to be special music, which is why I thought that he just like meant something else by special music. But when I hear special music, I think of, like, I don't know.
Hillsong worship,
No, not at all. That's the exact opposite of what I think of.
Right.
When I think special music, I think the anchor holds, like, just like straight up one guy on stage with a suit.
That's what special music
hair
is.
Slicked over.
So then, but you could still
Though the ship is battered.
Okay, but I feel like in your mind, special music can't be like with the youth. I feel like in your mind, special music is got to be like some old hymn.
I think I feel personally like
you feel some type of way.
I do. I don't get it. It's nothing. I very well could be 100% wrong. I just feel like that's something that like youth are just not into.
Literally, all it would be though is like, okay, you get up there with the praise team, they sing, and then special music would just be like one of the girls or something singing a song by like Ann Wilson or like Charity Gale, like those. But that is one person singing.
Yeah, I get it.
It's not the whole praise
I get it. It's just
team.
when I hear special music,
You think when Jesus steps out.
When Jesus steps out, and we all kind of sway to the, to the right. On a cloud to call, just killing it. And I'm not that guy.
You could
but
be,
I could
though.
be. I could kill it.
I think you would slay.
I would kill it. Totally. I could really get the Southern Baptist just fired up.
Yeah.
Get me a cardigan and
a cardigan.
Yeah, get me a no, not a cardigan. Get me a like a nice pair of slacks with some nice shoes.
Where did you get cardigan?
It's wintertime, obviously, because it's like fall singing.
You're gonna wear a cardigan.
Yeah,
what are
totally,
you talking
totally, and then like hair greased back, mustache, total like early 2000s.
Maybe that was special singing.
Early 2000s Southern gospel singing night. Oh man,
I'm glad I wasn't a part of it.
Oh man, you would have loved it. We slayed it. What's the song? The Jason Crabb song. What is it? What is the one? I can see him now wearing the sweater, head sweater on.
The Daystar song?
What? No. He will take you through the fire again. Killed it, dude. Straight could kill it. I don't know if I'd be able to do it without laughing, but I could totally slay it.
Okay.
What's the other one he sings? I'm Amazed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm talking junk about it, but I love that kind of music.
I know. I'm about to say, you sing it all the time.
I absolutely love that kind of music. I don't know. I was just, whenever he sent that, it was, my mind translated what he said in a different way based off of how I was raised as far as special music is concerned. And clearly...
But our special music is the same thing. Congregation sitting down, one or two people are singing. So I don't know...
What do you mean our?
Our definition of special singing.
Yeah, I guess the songs, I guess, is what I'm thinking of.
But it's like in your mind, you can't have special
unless
music
the song
with
is like 15 years old.
Like, bro, you can sing a Naomi Rain song right now if you wanted to. Or Brandon Lake, do something, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. I don't know why I even have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it. I just think it's funny. I am looking forward to it, though. I think it's going to be really fun.
So.
I think it's going to be really fun.
I'm excited to see the songs that y'all pick.
I know. I'm going to get with him and find out what songs that they normally are into or what songs they normally do. And we're going to do it. So, I guess so. I guess we're going to do it. Yeah. But, man, there's some good oldies.
So, y'all come here, Kendall.
I'll come here. I might have my cardigan on. When Jesus steps out, and I'll step out right there, in the middle. I'll step out. On a cloud.
Oh, please stop.
The anchor holds. I could kill it. Could so kill it.
You could. Those are such good songs.
I know. They're killing it. They are good songs. I want to go listen to some of those. It is the setting. Yeah. I just remember having such good times at my home church growing up, like listening to David Elliott play that on the piano and sing it. Oh my gosh,
dude! When we heard him, where did we go to their church?
My homecoming.
Homecoming. Yeah,
David. If you're listening to this, he's a killer, dude.
Yeah, he's a killer. Sung the doors off the church.
He's a killer. He is a killer. When he gets on the piano and plays that the Midnight Cry.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, kills it.
Yeah, it was good.
It took me like 10 years to like even figure out what that song was talking about.
What?
It's just such a like a artsy Southern Baptist song.
I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. All right, I'm an idiot then. I'm an idiot. Okay.
I mean, okay.
All right. Well, speaking of being an idiot and a Christian, and we've got the Bible out here, so let's move on from that. So, Caleb, absolutely nothing came of that, and
I won.
She won, and that was the only thing, is that we were trying to figure out I was wrong. But either way, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with my wife.
And he still wants to do it.
Yeah, totally. 1,000%. We're going to do it. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, so speaking of being an idiot and a Christian, and we'll finish on this because we don't have a Bible thing this week because it was my week and I didn't think of anything or come up with anything for it. So in the place of that, we're going to do a little something where we talk for a second about, and people say this all the time, and people say like, "Oh, you're never going to even have an opportunity. That's so stupid. You didn't even think of that." But I don't think it is. I think it's funny. What are some questions that you wish or you think that you, if you had the opportunity, you would ask Jesus, like about here on earth, like maybe like first time when you get to heaven, he's like, "All right, give me your 3 questions and I'll answer them real quick," kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, what are you asking Jesus?
Gosh. I don't know. I know that like
because a lot of times throughout your life,
at least once or twice a week, I think I'm gonna ask him that one day. And like now that you said that,
because all the time
drawing a blank
in your life, you're like,
why?
I'm gonna ask him about that one day.
Yeah,
for sure.
I say it all the time, and now I don't know.
You don't have one at all?
No, my mind is blank.
Yeah,
but I know I have a list a mile long.
Most of mine are not really like important things. They're just curiosity things.
Like what?
Like my number one question that I would, if I had the opportunity to really find the answer on, would be why spiders? You know?
Yeah. Because
out of all the animals, there's no other animal that I can think of that really is as purposeless as spiders, and no other animal that is as scary looking as spiders.
Yeah.
Every other animal has, even insects, like their feet are on the ground most of the time. But a spider's...
a spider's an insect, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying most other insects. Their feet are on the ground. They're maybe crawling around on 6, 7, 8 legs, whatever. But the legs are tiny, and they fly around or whatever. They're a bug. But a spider is just gross looking, man. And it's so creepy looking. Like, why did we have to make it look like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I want to ask him, why spiders?
Yeah.
You know? Because I hate them. I hate them, and I don't see them fulfilling any purpose here.
I'm telling you, when I see one, I just want to like set whatever it is on fire.
On
and walk
fire,
away.
yeah. Like,
oh my gosh!
You know the reaction.
That thing, the episode that happened in our very first house.
Oh God!
Do we want to talk about it?
I don't know. I feel like that might be a. You want to save that for next week, or do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I don't care.
Sure. Go ahead.
So, in our first house, we had brand new carpet put in the bedrooms, thanks to Caleb's mom.
That Caleb?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you, Caleb's mom.
Anyways, so
we sold that house, by the way.
Yeah, we sold that house.
Sorry.
The carpet was a very like neutral color, so everything kind of like blended in, whatever.
Yeah.
And I went to pick up dirty clothes off the floor in like the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
You had just came home from night shift and had been asleep for like an hour.
So tired.
And I picked it up. I picked this load of clothes up or whatever it was, and there underneath it was a spider that was like,
it was huge.
I don't know, what do you call that, silver dollar?
It was a wolf spider.
It was huge.
It was a wolf spider.
I don't know.
It was.
Anyways, I freaked out. Joe's like infant.
Yeah, she's like baby.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what to do because did I hit it before you?
Yep.
Before I woke you up? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay, that's what it was.
You tried to squish it.
Yeah, I tried to kill it.
Which
I was
is
like, all right,
understandable.
I've got to just woman up and kill it.
He's asleep, just got home from work.
Yeah, I'm not going to wake him up over this spider. I hit this thing with a shoe, and at least 100 babies go running.
Yeah.
And I was terrified.
This woman comes running into the bedroom, screaming at me. I've only been asleep for an hour, so I'm terrified already.
I mean, I was screaming at the top.
Get up! Come in here to the spare room. There's spiders everywhere. Do you know what a person who's asleep feels when they hear that? Wake up, there's spiders everywhere. You know? That's a horrible thing to do to a person.
But could you imagine the panic?
I didn't have to imagine it because I saw it.
I have a newborn baby. There's a million spiders going everywhere. They're blending in with the carpet.
The carpet was like tan, right?
Yeah, it was like a neutral color.
It looked like
when
I walked in there, it looked like the carpet was moving. Like there was pepper all over the carpet, and it was just like spreading out. So yeah, that's my question. Why spiders?
And then you decided to dump a whole container.
I shut the door and got that indoor, what is that stuff?
I don't know.
The indoor, outdoor
But you took the lid off and just poured it all over the floor. And I was like, well, there went our brand new carpet.
Yeah, I said, I don't care. It's going to turn it white. I don't care. Whatever. It ruins the carpet. It's better than my wife setting the house on fire.
So. I was so close. Like I said, if he does not get up out of this bed right now,
we're gonna burn it down with him in it.
Yeah, he's not getting up. He's not getting out. I hate it for him.
That's a good T-shirt. He's not getting up. He's not getting out.
That's like the fourth T-shirt for this podcast?
At least fourth or fifth.
God, that was horrible.
But yeah, I hate spiders now. They shouldn't exist.
I know. I
know they do, and God has a plan for everything, but I just don't. I don't see that one.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't see that one.
I know I have like a list of so many things, but I can't think of anything, and that makes me sad because as soon as we stop recording, I'm going to remember all of them.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can tell us later.
Maybe we'll make that our new
little things
segment. Little things.
What
would you ask God one day?
What would you ask God?
Or if y'all have any,
if y'all
send them to us and we'll read them.
We'll love to read them. But other than that, I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
So we are going to go to bed.
Yeah.
So thank you all very much for listening. Sorry for the episode schedule change, but it's just something we got to do for us and make things a little easier on us.
So it'll either be Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, and so this one comes out on Tuesday. So next
week is Monday.
So next week it'll be out on Monday. But thank you guys for listening. We love y'all. We appreciate you. And we keep consistently hearing from people who listen, and it's very weird.
We're gonna have our first guest lined up soon.
Very soon. Yes, very soon.
Like we were talking, I think, before vacation.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that soon. And if you want to talk to us, reach out to us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Or you can email us at totallyworthitpod@gmail.com, and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, I'm all out. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed from doing all this concrete.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.